Hello everyone, it's been a while since I provided an update, both in terms of a newsletter and a video. I'm trying to figure out what's the most valuable use of my time. I want to create content to help educate myself, solidify my thoughts, always be looking at the news and staying up to date in the industry. The daily emails are definitely a grind though. I do have a job where I work quite hard at the computer all day, so it is hard to get the motivation to write a newsletter at the end of the day and sift through all the news. But it's helpful. This week of not writing a newsletter, I wasn't looking at the news in the mining industry, missed a lot of it because it's just frankly tired. So I'm trying to figure out what's the best way to, one, stay accountable and solidify my convictions, as well as stay observant in the space, keeping an open mind, and providing value both to me and anyone that cares to listen or read. Um, there's a few things I wanted to cover. We'll cover some of the companies in the portfolio. I want to talk nickel. I want to talk another company though. We'll get started with Libero Copper. For those of you not familiar with Libero, they just did a 10-to-1 share consolidation after a financing, or during a financing rather. They just closed a $3 million financing, so they were literally trading for a couple pennies, like 2 cents. This would have been 3.8 cents before the stock split, or consolidation rather. And one thing I wanted to bring up about them is that during this closing of $3 million, Frank Giustra got in for cheap, pennies on the dollar. So I don't know if this guarantees. I'll explain the situation with Libero first, but I don't know if Frank's position in Libero confirms that there is talks with the Colombian officials, regulators, government, whatever. But he now owns 20%, almost on a partially diluted basis. He has 11.2 of the outstanding shares now. So great terms. Great terms in terms. So this was after the share consolidation. At a price that it was at 1.5 pennies with a warrant of 2 cents. Now it's 15 cents, 20 cents for the warrant. But right after the closing of this financing for 3 million, they announced another private placement of 2.5 million. That was it's interesting because they only have the Macoa project rather. They had the Macoa project, but they sold one of their projects in Argentina, if I'm not mistaken, and let the other expire. So you let your ultimately expire because you have no money. You sell another project. Now they're getting more and more money. What do they need this money for? It's kind of just a wait and see. So for any individual, I looked before hitting the record button. I think they're updating their corporate presentation because I don't see it on their website right now. But the Macoa project, uh, it's a large project. 636 million tons at a grade of 0.33% copper. The cutoff 0.25%. So it's not too marginal, but when it's back in scale, the numbers start to look better. This is also a $3 a pound copper, where copper's at what, $3.80. I don't know what the limit was at, but they have it at $10 for this. They do have quite a bit of moly exposure. So why this may be one of the cheapest copper projects on the planet. And the main reason has nothing to do with the metallurgy or anything like that. It has to do with with this big problem right here. This is an aerial view of their deposit, and you can see forest reserve is this green line. Their open pit concept lies right in the middle of the forest reserve. So they have this resource here. It'd be interesting to see what their plan is, but this is valued at nothing. Very, very little, because of human factors above ground. It's nothing about the geology. It's about whether the Colombians allow this project to move forward. It's a gamble. Um, it is interesting. Does Frank Giustra know something we do not? Or is he just buying because it's dirt cheap right now? I don't know. I don't know, but it's interesting that there's another financing right after the fact. We don't have a position, but the stars seem to be aligning here. A lot of cheap paper out now. Um, just so you know, if you ever look at this company, you're like, oh wow, tight share structure. Well, it was a 10-to-1 stock split or consolidation. I don't know why I keep saying split. Consolidation. It was trading up pennies, but look at the volume. The volume has been increasing dramatically. As it's interesting after the Frank Giustra February 15th. It's interesting the volumes dried up. So no one's cluing in that Frank got involved. Corporate presentation isn't updated. They're not marketing yet. There is some, I want to call them pumpers, pumping the stock right now. So be careful. But you know they might not be wrong. They might not be wrong. This might be a great play. It might be. There's risks, no guarantees. Maybe there's talk with the Colombian officials and regulators and the stars are aligning, but it's anyone's guess at this point. It's pure speculation. It's not an investment. But they have the cash to wait it out. So deal with that information as you will. Moving on. That's one of the Fathom Nickel because it seems to be maybe the bottom. Who knows? It could be dragged on for another year, 2 years maybe. See, this is the nickel price in 5 years. You see, it had a sharp run up at the beginning of 2022. I don't know if you remember that news of the LME. It skyrocketed the price of nickel, but shot right back down on a downtrend. It seems very disconnected. This is LME, so this is in tons. It's about $7.30 a pound for nickel right now. You can hear news of majors considering or shutting down their operations because of the low prices. And some nickel stocks, there's not many good quality nickel companies out there. This company made a discovery, and you can see the re-rate here. I believe it was, the heck was it? 3 point. It was, 2.32% nickel equivalent over 31.5 liters. And this is near surface in Manitoba, Canada. They announced the Botkia finance. If I'm not mistaken, there's little warrants on this. So they didn't issue a lot. Proceeds of 1.5 million. So the conservative, they don't have much shares out. They issued only 1.5 million in net proceeds. They're looking to give, so they're not going crazy here. It could be an interesting play. We don't have a position. It's a small market cap. That's a serious hit for any company. 2.32% nickel equivalent is very high. There is a lot of copper in it. Keep that in mind. Copper, there's quite a bit, but what's wrong with copper? Nothing. Who cares? Copper is great to have in the deposit. The company we have exposure to is Fathom Nickel. If you bought the end of tax loss, sell it at like 10 cents, you're looking at 100% return since then. It's been on a hell of a run. So Fathom Nickel is drilling their Albert Lake project. They have two, the Gold Chamber and the Albert Lake project. I won't go into the details of Fathom because I think Junior Resource Investing and Magna Copper, they provide a ton of value. To read the forums, listen to Matt Nickelborough from JRI, listen to his interviews with Ian. They're only 29 market cap company. If they hit an Albert Lake, which they're currently drilling, if they're drilling for, I believe, 3 holes, they're aiming for a target that's about 350 meters below surface. The deep drilling, that's what you kind of have to do with nickel. a lot of nickel projects, but they have a ton of geophysics, and there seems to be a high conviction that and if they hit, this Albert Lake project right near the old rotten stone line, if they hit, this was, I think Yale was quoted to say one of the highest grade nickel mines on the planet back in the day. Uh, don't quote me on that. Look into it, but the thing is that it could be blobby, this deposit. It might not just be a big hunk, but maybe they find a mother rotten stone, they call it. Maybe they find mother rotten stone with this drill program. And then watch out, this thing would scream. This thing would be in the dollars in no time if they hit that. It's just, the potential is huge. It is a real good speculation that if they hit. But I wanted to talk more about a company that is a little less risky and we're considering re-entering. So before my newsletter, I got in around 38 cents back in 2022. Forget it, but I timed it great. And I didn't hold it though. I got in at like 38 cents and sold at $1.38. Maybe not $1.38. I don't think it was the top. Maybe it was $1.28. But regardless, I made some good money off Magna, and it did with the price of nickel fell. It's funny. The chart's not much different than the price of nickel. They have nice run up, correct. A nice run up, correct. This could very well be the bottom. I believe Jason Jessup, the CEO, said in a couple interviews that you can expect assay results in the month of February. So far, there hasn't been any. So, at time recording, that's Family Day in Canada, February 19th, Monday. I wouldn't be surprised if it's this week or next week before PVAC we get show results. It's an interesting one though, because they have the opportunity to bring on a nickel project in North America, probably in one of the fastest ways possible, with an agreement with a major in the area, Glencore Valley. We don't know. This could re-rate. The trading has been tight. There hasn't been much trading going on. Look at the average. The average trading is not large. I don't see, even, was that a month ago? After tax loss selling in January ran up to 63 cents, came back down. So people wanted to give back their exposure after tax loss selling, consolidated again. But it could be drill results, it could be an agreement with a major. It's a waiting game, but if you believe nickel is gonna move from these lows, as many people do, I believe Magna is gonna do well as well. They have, it's not just nickel, they have platinum, palladium, copper, precious metals. DMG said on a record stating that they would consider streaming their gold stream for any further financing. But in terms of their market cap and the capital expenditure required to actually get cash flow positive, it is very reasonable. It's this also won't take much to get back into the dollar range here. We probably will take a position. Right now we do not, but it's a very exciting time. I'd look into Magna if I were you as well. And the last company I wanted to bring up was First Phosphate. I assume to be the only one talking about this company. If you listen to me, you would be in the red though, because I had an average of 36 cents as before the finance, and I announced the financing around 40 cents, traded there into the finance and closed, and now you see individuals that participate in the finance and clip in because they have exposures via a warrant. They decide to sell the stock. It could be for tax incentive purposes. Just that's what happens if you do financings with warrants. You can see some selling pressure, but after the financing, there's some great news. One specific piece that people should take away is the news from February 13th. They announced that their pilot production of LFP battery grade It is indeed battery grade purified phosphoric acid. So if anyone was following the story, Brown Technologies took a sample of their ore, their phosphate, see can it get to battery grade, which it can. That's all you need to know. There's a video, but long story short, it can be battery grade. That's good because their whole shtick was that they were going to be the central new um, hub for LFP batteries in North America. So over the long weekend, I actually created graphics because I thought just to help give people an idea of the phosphate industry. You can see Morocco, it's like nearly 70% of the world reserves of phosphate is in Morocco. And I believe this is Morocco, if I'm not mistaken, this country here. And in Northern Africa, there's a large percentage of phosphate reserves found there. Egypt, 3.9%. Tunisia, 3.5%. Algeria, 3.1%. South, 10%. That's like 80%. Just in this land area here is about 80% of the world reserves. Another 8.5% of other countries, another 8% or so in the BRICS nations, China, Russia, South Africa, Brazil, only 1.4% in the United States. So if North America is looking to become net zero, push these electric vehicles, where are they going to get the phosphate from? No, this is just a map. I notice I have a spell there. I should probably a lowercase d. But the igneous deposits are the higher grade ones. Not many in the world. No more of the sedimentary deposits, and you can see all the ones here. That's done. Sedimentary deposits. And in terms of production, as you can see, like Morocco, again, they're producing the most. It's a little bit of the United States, probably in Florida, I believe. But what do you have for this phosphate? Some of it's not the grade required to make LFP batteries. As I started this rant, I talked about Prion saying yes, your phosphate can become battery grade. A lot of the deposits can't around the world. But if you look at the Northern Allies, I don't know. A lot of it's in this region of the world. North Africa, Middle East. There's not much in North America. So the first phosphate evolution will be in North America. Again, igneous and sedimentary is to further provide a visual of it. 95% of the world sedimentary deposits, only 4% are igneous carbonate. Finland and Quebec, 1% of the global phosphate reserves are this high purity igneous and northwest rock, 1%. And pretty much just here in Quebec. So they're doing a lot of things right. They're cheap. We're not at them yet. We might flip a couple companies depending on how they perform. I think First Phosphate might stay range bound for a little bit of time. We'll see how long. It depends on the news flow. They're drilling 3 drill rigs. We're drilling out there based in the Marsh project. But if you think the lithium has a nice run, phosphate, there's always 3 companies publicly traded that I'm aware of. Aryan Phosphate, that's up north, further up north, it had a nice re-rate. And Fox River Resources, which big capital expenditure. They might release some news here, who knows. But those are the 3 options we're picking First Phosphate. But that's not enough of the rant for today. I hope you enjoyed. Sorry to write too many newsletters this week, but if you like this content, make sure to subscribe, hit that like button, comment, let me know what type of material you find value in. Trying to provide as much value as possible. With that, have a great day.